Good morning, good morning. You thought I'd say evening, didn't you? Oh well. We're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order at this time. Please turn all cell phones and electronic devices to off or vibrate. Mr. Rick Morris, will you please lead us in our prayer and thanksgiving?
Dear Lord, we thank you so much for this day you created for us. Lord, we would ask that you would put your blessings upon each and every person here today and the families that they represent. Lord, as we go forth with the business of trying to improve Ballinger, we ask for your guidance and your wisdom that we might have the knowledge and understanding to do the things that would be good and for each and every citizen of the City of Ballinger. Lord, just lead us and guide us as you would have us to go each and every day. I pray this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Morris. All right, the City Council may hear an update on the Abilene-Ballinger water project from City Engineer Ken Martin.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Attorney, you got some things I think you...
Yeah, we've been working on a PowerPoint presentation here, and just to kind of explain the gist of and the flow of how things work now, and I know some other things were mentioned, like an additional water line possibly in the future, but hopefully this will break it down easier to, if you have some visual aids, and basically what we have is currently we have the North Abilene water plant, the South Abilene water plant. They're not connected. They're raw water line. The North Abilene water plant gets their water from Possum Kingdom, Hubbard Creek Lake, and Fort Phantom. The Southern Abilene water plant gets water from Lake Ida. They have a line that we tap into, and which would be this one here. And I'm not sure if it goes through Ovallo first or Talpa. I think we got that reversed, but the water will go through a storage facility, a water storage tank, and another one in Ovallo. We were talking about the water pressure. Typically, we'll get 500 gallons a minute if the storage tank is full or more full. If we get down below a certain percentage, maybe 30%, it'll drop to 375 because this is a gravity flow line. Now, you may wonder why I'm talking about this right now. Is because in the last meeting we talked about the possibility of making another water line, maybe a 16-inch water line. But anyway, so this is how we get our water right now through Lake Ivy. And now Lake Ivy is managed by the CRMWD. We have contracts with Millersview Dual. And this was done as an emergency measure when our lake was dry and we needed water. So our contract with them is $1.43 per 1,000 gallons, which works out to around $20,000 a month, which is $19,415. Okay. Okay. What we're planning on doing with this water deal, we've signed a contract with Millersview Dual to be able to reduce our acre feet, because we were at 500 acre feet, and we have to take it and pay for it, or whether we take it or not. So, but in our new contract, they've reduced it to 360 acre feet. with an option on that Miller's View Dual contract to go down. So if they need an additional 100 acre feet next year, it revolves every July, I believe. Isn't that right? So every July, Miller's View Dual can come to us and reduce the amount, however much they think they need. Now, Miller's View Dual also supplies Wall School District, the city of Wall. So, and they're growing rapidly over there. So the likelihood of them needing more acre footage of water is going to increase. And so, but as we go down, we've also signed a contract with Abilene, and currently it's at 140 acre feet because that was what Miller's View Dual released, right? But the contract negotiated by the former council was 36 cents per 1,000 gallons, which is a drastic decrease. Okay, so right now, currently, as of October the 1st, when the contracts went into effect, instead of paying $19,415 a month, we're paying Miller's View Dual $14,000 a month, but we're also paying Abilene $1,369 a month. Okay, the reason we do this now is because they break the amount out of 140 acre feet at 36 cents. They divide it by 12 and pay it over a period of a year. Okay, and same thing with Miller's View Dual. We're paying 360 acre feet divided by 12, over a period of a year. So that's why that breaks down per month on a monthly rate. Now, the total at 500 acre feet currently is going to be $15,369 per month for a per year savings of $48,500. So that's the contract we got into as of October 1st. Okay. Now, in order to get this 36 cents per 1,000 gallons, part of the deal that we made with Abilene was to add in green there the right water line. The City of Ballinger will pay for the design of this pipeline between North Abilene and South Abilene. It in effect makes us we go from just a third-party customer to, I would say, a partner. Right. So we got a vested interest in the construction of this, but the payoff is right now about $50,000 a year. So everything here, if you look, is the same, except the little in green there, and you see the dotted line, it goes North Abilene, South Abilene. If we go to the next slide, okay.
That's an optional rule.
Yeah, go back, because you told me this isn't the same as one. Well, the one that you have in your hand, it says 10-inch water line, right? And that's actually yet to be designed. There's probably like a 36-inch water line between the two plants. This was our first draft, so that's good. Now if you go to the next one. Okay, Ken last time talked about the possibility of getting a new water line onto the Ivy-Ballinger or Ivy-Abilene water line. And we were talking earlier because of, we may have 500 gallons if this is full, but if it goes down substantially, it may drop because this is gravity flow. What he was talking about is the possibility of putting in a new line here, and which would be about a 16-inch, and it'd be more than 500 gallons because you're coming in after a pump station, right? So it gives you pressure. It's not just gravity. Okay. All this is the same as it was before. This is just the only thing that changed. If you go to the next one. Something else we could do without putting in this new line would be the possibility of maybe adding pumps to the existing line. Because the existing line is rated for higher capacity, maybe double what we have. So maybe 900 gallons a minute. You could add a couple of pumps on here, or maybe a pump station, and push that water to max out the rating of the pipe. So that is an option. It's not, that 16-inch line is not anything we have to do. It's not something we need to do now. So I just wanted to differentiate that and not get them confused. Okay, what's next? All right, here is what we broke down. This is basically what I was talking about earlier, the different pricing. The old system was 500 acre feet at $1.43. You did $19.14 per month. We were paying $232,980 per year, roughly. And that's if we went over 500 acre feet. Well, you know. Now, what's happened recently, since we've gone through a lot of drought, the citizens have kind of conditioned themselves not to use water. So we're not actually getting Randy could tell us, what are we using per year now?
Well, last year, 2018, we went over a little bit.
Okay.
Of course, this year, wintertime is a slow time of year anyway, so we always use less than what we normally do in the summer.
Right.
So, and currently, the Abilene is shut down because Abilene's doing repairs to their pump stations and their storage tanks. So we're strictly on ballinger water right now.
Right.
And they said that it would probably be 2 to 3 weeks before those repairs are finished.
Right. Well, historically though, water consumption has gone down.
Yeah.
For the city of Ballinger.
The most we've ever done was in 96, and we pumped 1,169 acre feet of water. We're allowed 1,500 acre feet out of Lake Ballinger. Of course, in 96 we didn't have ivy.
Yeah.
Now we do about anywhere from 200 million to 250 million a year in raw water.
250 million gallons?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Compared to 400 million that we did in the past.
Right.
So everybody's got conditioned to being in a drought and water restrictions. And then when it rains, they sure don't get water.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so where we're at as of October the 1st, this just runs through the same numbers that were up earlier, but it kind of gives you a bigger picture. You have 360 acre feet plus the 140 acre feet. Gives you, 15,000. And then we'll go back. Yeah. So the total is 184,000, which right now, because these numbers are set, you get the $48,000 savings per year. Now, in July, Millersview Dual has the option to give us more water, or release us from the 360. So if in July they come back and give us 100 acre feet, then we can buy that from Abilene. So that would be 260 from Millersview Dual, and then we would add 100, so it'd be 240 from Abilene. So this cost savings will increase. So you're paying 36 cents per 1,000 gallons on 240, and only 260 acre feet. I mean, 142, $1.42 per 1,000 gallons on 260 acre feet. So this can only go up.
Savings is going to continue to
Right.
increase, right?
Right. So,
Probably another 15,000, if they took 100 acre feet, something in that neighborhood,
right,
roughly,
right,
$70,000.
right. Is there another? That was it, okay. Now, here, I've handed out this is an invoice from CROWD to Miller's Dual. And if you look at it, okay, under BS 12, that's actually a meter. Okay, Miller's Dual, their consumption was 24,592,000 gallons. This is per month. Okay, the Abilene-Ballinger meter, which is BSX on your paper, 15,302,000. Okay. Miller's Dual's actual contract with CRMWD is 29,869,675 million gallons. Okay, and that's their contract rate at $1.43 per 1,000 gallons. Okay, you can see here they've gone over by 10 million gallons. Okay, and this is on a monthly basis, and this was in December, where your water usage isn't as much as it will be in June, July, and August. So we anticipate them in July to come back and reduce it even more, because they're going to need more water.
Can I
Yeah,
add something?
sure.
For every 1,000 gallons they go over what their contract is, they have to pay a stiff penalty. And when they pay that penalty, it behooves them to come to us and ask for this water back. We're contracted to take and pay. So they're probably going to do that.
We anticipate they will.
I have a question. If they went over by 10 million gallons, how many acre feet is that?
10 million gallons, how many acre feet is that?
Or you give me a ballpark. I'm just
There's
curious how many acre feet.
325,000 gallons in an acre foot.
325,000,
385.
385.
It's about 30 acre feet. It's 30 acre feet, but that's per month, I think.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I was just curious how many, because we're talking acre feet a gallon.
Actually, if it was 10 million gallons a month, that would be 360 acre feet that they might come back and ask for all.
Yeah.
Really?
If they came back and asked for all of it, the city of Ballinger would save a tremendous amount.
What would be the top one?
That was my question, is when and if we get to that point, then how much would we be paying per year?
When we get down to zero on
Yeah.
the Miller's Dual, one of y'all work that out real quick.
And how many years do we take to
Yeah,
that?
got it. I won't figure it.
It'd be a whole lot less than 232,000.
Well, the thing is, it's like what he was saying, it was, say it's 10 million a month that they're going over, that was in December. Okay, if they come back and ask for the whole thing in July, okay, then we basically finish out that contract with Miller's Dual, and we're strictly on the Abilene water contract.
We'd be paying Abilene $58,653 a year
If
Okay,
we want to total that,
for 500 acre feet.
so, which would be a significant cost savings for 320.
Plus pumping.
Now, if you subtract that from 332,000?
It's a lot.
That's what I was getting.
yeah, that's why I wanted to know what the acre feet was, curious to see how close we are. I'm asking for
That's $174,000.
$174,000 is cost savings.
Now, this is 1 month, have we looked at other months to make sure that, it's a continuing trend, this isn't just a fluke, good thing?
No, this is the only invoice that we have. We can go back and look, but this was in December, which is kind of a low water usage,
Yeah.
December, January, February.
Miller View sent us that, we don't get one from them every month.
Right. This is actually what CRWD, the people that manage Ivy, this is their invoice to Millersview Dual.
But it's not a fluke that this 1 month they went over 10 million.
No, this should be pretty average.
And it's probably gonna get worse, because like I say, all
Well, yeah.
area out there is growing.
I think Cody said when we went down there and met with them, the last 2 years, they've been over a lot of amount.
Right.
One thing to keep in mind is the contract that you have with Abilene does not require you to buy from Abilene whatever you send to Millersview, you give Millersview back. In other words, if you gave Millersview all of that 360 acre feet, you can keep your take or pay with Abilene at 140.
Right.
And so the cost savings, especially from the time that you're paying off your 10-year note, could even be more, because you don't have to automatically say to Abilene, okay, we gave 100 acre feet back, we're gonna take another 100 acre. You can do that annually with Abilene, but you're not obligated to. And so as long as you've got water in your lakes at Ballinger, you can use your own water.
For instance, this year, our lakes are full.
Yeah.
So, and so they come back in July and give us the entire 360 acre feet back. Okay, we don't have to give that to Abilene.
Yeah.
We could possibly just do another 100 acre feet and use our lakes.
Supplemental for all this.
Right, and use it first before we take the Abilene water. Now, we know we have to take 148 acre feet, but that's kind of the minimum. So we could use ours until we need it to kind of balance it out. It gives us a lot more freedom in using our water versus having to buy it outsourced. Additionally, if Ivy ever went dry, you have if you can go back, you have these 3 sources here in which to pull from. And I don't know the history of these lakes. I don't know that Possum Kingdom has ever gone dry. But, but if Ivy did go dry, you have something to fall back on, which is what they didn't have before, or we don't really have now.
Now, those 3 lakes, if Ivy went dry and you had to pump water from one of those 3 lakes, that water is more expensive.
Yes.
It's not 36 cents an hour.
But this is more of an emergency measure,
Yeah.
right? You wouldn't use this unless Ivy went dry. And I know it came close. I don't think it ever went dry.
It's never, I think, maybe 10% as low as it's got.
I think it was like 7 or 8% the lowest point.
But we still pump water, we have no problem.
Right. So, but this is a fallback measure. So,
And in addition to that, if I recall right, and reading the contract and everything, if, for whatever reason, those lakes became low and we couldn't get out of it, we could still get water from Abilene's wells, as well as those lakes. Again, it's very expensive
Yeah.
if that happens, but it would still give us a source of water.
Give us that worst case scenario.
right. Now, and something else that we haven't really talked about is there's a network forming, distribution network. I think between San Angelo and Abilene, and I don't know who else is involved, but this makes us a part of this growing network for the future. We'd be involved in it. I mean, you take Winters. Winters has their lake, and that's it. Okay, in the future, if there's a larger distribution network between Abilene, San Angelo, Midland, and Lubbock, pulling from Dallas or East Texas, as this grows, we'll be part of this, as opposed to Winters, who has their own lake and they're not a part of any distribution system.
They don't pull water from anywhere?
Just Winters Lake. And it's Winters Lake, or all Winters and North Ronald.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
I didn't know
I sent Corey some photographs, if we can bring them up. That's the Ballinger Lake in 2012.
that. Wow.
In 25, that lake was full, so it took 7 years for it to get in that shape. So that's how quick your water source can disappear.
Yeah.
And it's not a matter of if it happens again,
It's
just
gonna happen.
when it.
It's been like that twice since 1999.
Okay, so we got receiver and WD. Okay. If you go on 2 pages after that, you'll see the bond debt service. What we're using to pay for this pipeline from the North Abilene plant to the South Abilene plant is going to be a bond. And the bond is for $3 million from the Texas Water Development Board. They're going to forgive $2 million. So we'll be on the hook for $1 million. This bond debt service is what we're going to be paying over the up until 2030 for this bond. Now you'll see it starts out at 2019. The first payment will be $5,000. 2020 will be $15,000. 2021 it starts to get a little stiff at $110,000. But that gives us a couple of years to start realizing, because we're already realizing the cost savings through these contracts. So, we anticipate that the Miller Street dual contract will reduce quickly in the next 3 years. So we'll be able to utilize all that cost savings toward these bond payments. Let's see what else we got here. The next page is the outstanding debt service on all of our I don't guess we have that on. Okay. Because we still have 3 other bonds other than the one we're fixing to get. We have one for the water plant, which we pay off in 2020. We have one for the sewer treatment plant still, and I think some water meters, that the digital water meters that they read for GPS. That was also a bond. So this will be our 4th bond, and our total bond payment yearly will be about 2019 $564,000. 2020 will be $572,000. 2021 $662,000. So it starts going up progressively.
But that should reduce when we get the water plant.
Yes.
That will reduce considerably when we can get the water plant bond paid off.
2023, I believe. Is it 2023?
I think 24.
Yeah, here it looks like 24 because it drops by half.
Yeah.
So that amount will reduce significantly. We would have that money to apply for the bond to put into fund.
Right.
About 6 years for it. I can't hear the lines are all in together. 5 to 6 years when it drops. Should have been able to do this later.
And let's see what else we got here. A lot of these are from the securities company that we, that is going to be doing the bond, so that's a lot of the people working that. Wait, the last page, it's a sales tax report. This is what we received. It has a 2019 record. This is what we've got so far. And that's about it. Do y'all have any questions?
I did prepare a spreadsheet that would show the cost savings at the various levels, depending on if you take the Abilene water, you don't take the Abilene water, and depending on how much millage you actually takes. This might be what you can take into account whenever millage review comes and they decide that they want. Highlighted in yellow there is what you currently have. Once you close your funding, the Abilene contract is not valid until you close your funding with the Water Development Board. But that's what you currently have, and if you replace all of the water with Abilene, then your savings is about $174,000. But if you use your own water, and the millage you took all of their water, then you would save about $260,000 per year. Which is, as long as you've got water in your own lakes, really behooves the city to use your own water. As millage you takes the water back until you get your bond paid off. And then at such time you see that you need to go to water from Abilene, go to Abilene and increase the fee. But you're not obligated to based on the contract.
So essentially, this is just to approve funding for all this stuff.
It's to approve the funding of the project. The contracts with Abilene and Mills Review have already been approved, and they're already actually in effect. Okay. Now, if we didn't approve this deal and the funding from Texas Water Development Board dries up, then the contracts become null and void, and we go back to our old system before October 1st. Okay. Let's see. Also, I think today we're approving Jacob and Martin to be the engineer on this design phase. And is that the only thing we're approving today, Bonita? What's on the agenda?
Just the mayor's signature
on all the required papers
All the required papers on the bond.
on the bond.
Can you go back to the agenda? Yeah, the issuance of the bond. We got to open up 2 accounts. And the engineering agreement with Jacob and Martin. That's what we're.
For the design phase, that includes the line from the 2 Abilene plants.
Only.
Just a tiny number.
So that doesn't include the proposed 16-inch line.
It does.
It does include that.
Includes actually the design. Of course, the pad is the planning, the acquisition, and design. It includes easements, it includes environmental, includes the surveying that's required, the design for the pipeline in Abilene, and that's the majority of the cost is the pipeline in Abilene. And then it also includes a pipeline for Ballinger as far as the design is concerned.
But not the easements.
Yes, it includes the easements. Includes the easements too. Yeah, it includes all the easements, all the environmental, for the Abilene line as well as the Ballinger line.
Okay.
Does it include the option of the pump stations on the existing line?
Yes,
We're covering all scenarios.
yeah, yeah.
Proposed, optionals.
All of that can be looked at. I mean, the application was approved with a new pipeline. But before that, the final decision is made on that item, is, as Mr. Attorney said, there needs to be some discussion with, these other communities and see who all wants to be a part of that. And
And we're gonna have to look at costs. It may be cost not prohibitive, but it might be cheaper, easier, better to improve our existing line. Just add some pump stations or a couple of pumps on the line versus doing a whole new water line. But at least we have the option. Say winners or somebody wants to jump in with us on a larger line, then we have that option as well. It's already designed. We already have the easements.
So at this point in time, we don't have any cost associated with the 16-inch line or optional pump station on the existing line.
once the.
As far as construction or just design?
Right. The construction cost.
No.
Once the design approved, and that's done.
Yeah, no, they don't have anything on construction, just the design. We don't have anything on construction as far as the line between the North Abilene plant and the South Abilene plant. Because you're looking at just the design is about 3 years. They may not start construction for 5 years from today, or maybe 10 years. It depends on when Abilene can get their bonds together, get their money together, when they want to start on that. That is correct, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so the actual construction, you're not going to be able to pin any contract on materials and, labor, or anything like that. I think they have a general projected possible cost between 25 to 30 million. So just for the construction of that.
But this new contract, Miller-Hugh Dual and Abilene is already in effect. Taking the 160 acre feet from Abilene is already.
It started October 1st. Now, it all started in good faith. We're already realizing cost savings because our invoice from Miller-Hugh Dual went from 19,000 to 14,000. Okay, so we've already got our first invoice. We had some questions about how it's going to be handled on their end, but that has nothing to do with our deal here. So we're already receiving some cost savings. Contract's already kicked in. We just need to ratify this part of it in order to keep that going.
So if they come back and they say they need another 100 acre feet because it's going to evolve, that'll reduce our cost savings go down a little.
Our cost savings would go up.
Go up, yeah.
Right. So if they take away 100 acre feet, we make more money. Or we realize more cost savings. Okay, if they take away all 360, then we're free at that point just to use our water and some Abilene water if we need it.
But this is all contingent upon us approving this contract with Jacob and Martin to do the basic
No.
design.
No. It's not contingent on the approval of Jacob, or it's the approval of the bond, right? There's a couple
With
things.
the Texas Water. With the
Texas Water Development Board, right? Now, they're gonna do the design,
Right,
okay, but if it wasn't Jacob and Martin, it could be
but if we don't,
other engineers.
but if we don't do, what I'm getting at, I guess, is if we don't do, the deal with the Texas Water Board for $3 million.
Right,
If we don't approve that and do that,
right,
then everything else is null and void.
that's correct.
We don't do anything.
Right,
So that has to be approved, and then we have to approve them to do the basic design of
Right.
all the lines,
right.
which is paid for by us, but we pay them.
We will actually pay Jacob and Mark.
Right.
Okay. Basically what's gonna happen, Texas Water Development Board gives us $3 million that we are supposed to pay back. Okay, now, at the end of that, they'll take away $2 million and forgive it. Okay, so we're on the hook for $1 million. Okay, we pick an engineer, they do it. Okay, and that's who we pay. And we will monitor that engineer. Okay?
Why are they forgiving 70% of it? Are there any strings attached to that?
It's part of a grant. Yeah, I mean, it's not a grant, it's actually a bond, but it works as a grant. You know, for instance, if you get a grant, sometimes you might have to pay 20% of it, or 10%, or half. Like, we had a police grant we were looking at. You buy a vehicle, they'll give you a vehicle. So it's like a 2-for-1. Okay. They want you to have some vested interest in that, right? It's like you get a house, a loan for a house. Okay. They want you to have X amount of dollars down payment. So you have a vested interest in that loan. You know, you have a dog in the hunt, basically. And I realized $3 million is a lot of money for a small community.
Water Development Board has a lot of money, millions set aside, and then we competed against all other communities for that money. I don't know how many meetings we went to, proposed our project, and we were approved, and others weren't. So that's just kind of how that went. And since we're disadvantaged, we're considered disadvantaged at 70%. Some communities do it at 30% and 50%.
Right.
We got 70% forgiveness because we were disadvantaged.
And some of that's based on your population, your income, you know, as a community. A lot of census population, you know, information goes into that formula.
That, and we send them pictures of the dry lake when we apply, so.
That helps. That helps.
30 people.
Any questions?
So Abilene, 20 years down the road, they're locked in with us forever. They can't ever say, you know what, we're done doing business with y'all. We know you built our pipeline, but we were only contracted with you for 30 years or 20 years. Does it ever expire?
It doesn't expire. Well, what is it?
It may not be right for
It's a 40-year
Yeah,
contract
40-year
with
contract.
automatic renewal after 40 years for the first.
Right. Now,
You're looking at 80 years.
And we are gonna pay for some of the construction, right?
yes,
No, that's-
we are obligated. Well,
Yeah, that's-
we agreed to pay for some of the construction.
Our percentage of what usage we're gonna have.
Right.
that's all.
So it's a long-term contract.
I don't figure many of us will be here in this room 4 years. Me and Ken will still be.
We said that straight.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, I'd just like to say, I was here a few years ago, and I think that our prior council has done a great job of trying to find water and get water for this city. Whether the price is right or the price is wrong, it doesn't really matter. You got some prior water ahead of you if you need it. The biggest challenge this council is going to face is selling the water.
Right,
Because the quality's not going to change, but you can't help that.
right,
You just, all Randy can do is treat it.
Right.
However it comes out, hopefully that water plant will increase it, more people will buy it.
right.
And if the council can decrease the cost then to the city, because we used to sell 1 million gallons a day,
Right,
and we were making a lot of money, that's where the money comes from.
right.
But being able to sell what you've got is the biggest headache. Ken Long's done a great job.
Right.
It'd be wrong not to give him an engineering job. He's done all the work without pay.
Yeah, no,
So I just had to throw 2 cents in because we can't ever come here without having 2 cents worth of say.
But beyond that,
Thank you for that.
beyond that, you're absolutely correct. And I think we will see our water usage increase because of the infrastructure work we're doing now on the water lines, putting in the new water lines and everything. People are going to begin to see good clean water instead of red water.
Well, and if you can, Randy will agree with this, I'm pretty sure. If you don't sell water and move it in that pipeline, it gets worse, it doesn't get better.
right.
So you gotta sell it and move it, and it'll be a better quality.
I think that's going to happen because,
You know, I don't know if the state's still got a drought contingency requirement on you. If they do, that needs to be worked out some way where you can sell some water. Because you can buy water forever, but if you don't get rid of it and sell it, you sure don't make any money. And your water quality's not gonna change.
Right.
So, but anyway, fire account's done a great job, I think.
Well, at some point, let's say we got lucky and Miller B. Bill $1.368 for your water back. Then you can sit down and restructure your water rates
Right,
to a lower level than what they are now.
right. Right, and that's hopefully the plan in the near future, is once we get out of that Miller Street dual contract, where we're locked into, now 360 acre feet, then we can start adjusting our water rates, to where it's a little more affordable for the citizens. And, the less you charge per gallon, more gallon usage you would have, so you're swapping dollars for volume, which should increase your total dollar amount. Dang. You hungry?
Dude, I'm gonna start barking if you want to.
It's like 15 candy wrappers up here.
I think the transparency of the council will help a lot. And help the board down. That was a big issue back before. A lot of folks didn't understand what's going on with quality. They understand that they're doing all they could.
Right.
Now I think that being open a little more than it is now in the paper. For instance, a lot more information coming there that help market your water to themselves.
Yeah. Well, and we're working on it slowly but surely. And, but, it's not as complicated when you start looking at it, and then you start putting it on paper, but when you just get hammered with information and, it feels complicated, but once you start breaking it down, like this PowerPoint thing, you can start seeing how it comes together and start following the storyline. So it just sounded a lot more complicated than it actually is.
It did, and this helped. I mean, I was lost. I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you. I didn't know what up from down until today when I see all these numbers. Put this in front of you, it's easier to read.
Right.
It's easy to understand. I didn't have that before.
Amazing facts they do.
Yeah. And that's all I needed, was just today.
Well, that's why we didn't send a lot of it out, early, because we have Ken Martin here today, we have Randy, I didn't know Philip was coming, but he's been able to, and see, you have some history behind it, so this has helped, kind of get some information out there. Do y'all have any other questions? Do y'all? You feel comfortable with the subject matter?
I am here. I don't give up.
Good, yes, good.
This will be able to help water the golf course.
Not in broad.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
At our dollars.
Yeah. All right, everybody good? Thank you, everyone, for your comments and your participation. Ken, if you add anything, you good?
I'll be happy to answer any questions. I think Tom's done a good job of explaining what we're talking about.
Awesome. All right, moving along. City Council may consider, discuss, and approve an engineering agreement with Jacob Martin for the design phase of the Abilene-Ballinger water project. Do I have a motion to approve the engineering agreement with Jacob Martin for the design phase of the Abilene-Ballinger water project?
I'll make the motion to approve that.
I second.
Do I have, all in favor, sorry? Aye. Thank you. All right, City Council may consider, discuss, and authorize the mayor's signature on all various forms and agreements required to close on the funding of the Abilene-Ballinger water project. This is, I believe, a suggestion by Pat, just in case something pops up at the last minute that we need to get done before the end of the period. No,
he didn't need to do
he told us that night. He was unbelievable.
I'll make that motion, Sam.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye. All right, thank you. All right, consider all matters incident and related to the issuance and sale of City of Ballinger, Texas tax and waterworks and sewer system surplus revenue certificates of obligation, Series 2018, including the adoption of an ordinance amending Section 2 of Ordinance Number 120318, authorizing the issuance of such certificates of obligation and ratifying and confirming all other provisions thereof. This is bond language, so it's not going to make a lot of sense. But this is in your packet as far as the ordinance.
This is one bad.
Yeah, it's the breakdown of the bond.
What this is saying that we can use all the revenue we get to pay for the bond. Whether it be water, sales tax, or selling stickers down on the corner. Anybody have a question about that?
All right. Motion to accept agenda item 6, or do you want to read it again?
I'll make a motion that we accept agenda item number 6.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is that acceptable, vote? Okay. All right. City Council may discuss, consider, and take action to set up 2 checking accounts associated with the City of Ballinger, Texas tax, waterworks, and sewer system surplus revenue certificates of obligation, Series 2018.
What this is, we have to set up 2 checking accounts for this bond.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Last but not least, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Sam.
Back in this,